Hey guys, and today we will be studying the imaginary unit I. In the last episode, we did study it, and now we're back on more. So let's get into it. Hey guys, and today we'll be talking about more on the imaginary unit I. This can also be used to simplify the principal square roots of negative numbers. The principal square root of a number is just the positive square root of a number. So if I said the principal square root of 4, I would say 2, because 4 has two square roots, negative 2 and 2. Okay, so let's get right into the problem. So first, what you would want to do is you would want to say, okay, we have the principal square root of negative 64. That can be equal to, we can say that is going to be equal to the principal square root of negative 1 times 64. And that's completely true. Okay, so now we can say that this is equal to the principal square root of negative 1 times the principal square root of negative 64. I mean just 64. And you could do this, you could do exactly what I'm doing, but there is one thing I want to be very clear about. You cannot do this if both of these numbers right here were negative. If you did that, if you continued with the equation like that, you would get some nonsensical answer, and I don't think you want a nonsensical answer. So, like if I said the principal square root of 64 instead of negative 64, and I said that was equal to the square root of negative 1 times negative 64, that's all correct. But when you get here, if you say the principal square root of negative 1, that is equal to the principal square root of negative 1 times the principal square root of negative 64, then that is wrong. It just won't work. Anyway, moving on. We can also say that we learned in the last video that the principal square root of negative 1 can be simplified to I. Okay? And let's see if we can simplify the square root of 64 any. Well, actually, the square root of 64 is 8. So we're lucky that we got that number, and that can just be equal to I times 8. And this is as far as we can simplify it. This is just going to become 8I. Let me just show you an example where this did not happen and we had a number that did not have a obvious square root. Okay, so I've gotten all the way down to this step right here. The first part's pretty easy. I didn't want to waste your time. So we have a number without an obvious square root, like 62 right here. Like 64 had the obvious square root of 8. So let's see if we have any perfect squares sitting in here. So 62 is equal to 2 times 36, and then 36 is equal to 2 times 18. We have 2 times 2 there. And so we can say that this is equal to I, and then times the principal square root of 4 times 18. And that's also equal to I times the principal square root of 4 times, let's just erase this right here. Okay, so the principal square root of 4 times the principal square root of 18. So the principal square root of 4 is 2. We don't have a principal square root of 18, so I think this is simplified enough. We have I times, I like to make the order of this different, I like to say that this is going to be equal to the principal square root of 18 times 2 times I. And that is as far as you can simplify this. And if you just follow all the steps that I've said in this video, you can easily simplify any negative square root numbers. Forgot the negative sign up here. Okay, and we are done.